Mom and dad, grandma and grandpa, aunts, uncles, cousins, brothers, sisters, family, and friends, it is my absolute pleasure, on behalf of Father McShane, President of Fordham University, and Dean Donna Rapiccioli, the Dean of the Gabelli School of Business, to welcome you to the 2021 Gabelli School of Business ceremony, where we will honor and recognize our candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science. May I now introduce to you an alumni of Fordham University's Graduate Division of the Gabelli School of Business, Mina Grice, MBA, class of 2013, and also one of the finalists in the top 100 on America's Idol. Mina will present to us the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Before I begin, I ask that you take just a moment and center yourself. Prepare to be present together with other graduates and families. Now please join me in the invocation. Dear God, over the past 4 years, you tested us and you helped us grow academically, spiritually, personally, and as a community. As we come together today to celebrate the tremendous accomplishments of the class of 2021, we pause to recognize that you were in all of the moments over the past 4 years. The happy, challenging, exciting, and grounding moments, guiding us, supporting us, and teaching us. Today we come together in thanks. We are thankful for the tireless encouragement that the graduating seniors received from faculty and administrators who provided support throughout their journeys. These individuals have helped graduates discover their passions and vocations, solve problems, and make the community a better place. We give thanks for the relationships in our lives that ground us in love. We recognize we are better people because of the bonds that we have formed and strengthened with family and friends. And we are especially thankful for our parents and for those who have acted as parents toward us, for they have been role models and provided foundations of strength and courage. We are grateful for this class of 2021, most of all, for the resilience and grace they have taught us through their unprecedented college experience. As a class and as individuals, they have displayed gifts and talents that inspire each of us each day. By your grace, Lord, they are prepared to achieve success and truly change the world. These graduates will enter a world that is considerably different from the one of 4 years ago. A world that changed dramatically due to the COVID-19 pandemic and through social injustices witnessed in our communities. Bless this class, O Lord. Continue to walk with them on their journey. Give them the gifts of compassion and empathy so they may always show care and kindness for those in need. Give them the gift of wisdom so they may discern and cultivate their unique talents to make positive and meaningful contributions in the world. Give them the gifts of vigor and conviction so they may always look toward the future with a desire and eagerness to embrace all that life has in store for them. With our hearts filled and our minds focused, we give thanks and celebrate together today. Amen. Congratulations to the class of 2021.
May I now introduce to you Dr. Donna Rampiccioli, Dean of the Gabelli School of Business.
Hello, and welcome to everyone who's joining us for our virtual diploma ceremony. Families, friends, Fordham alumni, and most importantly, our amazing class of 2021. We at the Gabelli School are so proud of everything you've accomplished in the last 4 years, but especially in the last 15 months. I know the last 3 semesters haven't been what anyone hoped for, but I do hope you realize something important. The Gabelli School class of 2021 has already achieved something that every business in the world strives to be able to do, and that dozens of business books have been written about. You are able to pivot. In the business world, if you can adapt to a changing circumstance, you're golden. Businesses want to be able to turn on a dime. They want to quickly embrace changes in the environment so that they can thrive. Our graduating class of 2021 includes 697 experts in navigating sudden change. You succeeded in 3 semesters of remote learning. You found ways to keep in touch with your friends in a truly strange social landscape. You dealt with non-stop uncertainty and won. So I congratulate all of you on already having done what CEOs hire really high-priced consultants to help them do. And I bet at least some of you will be those high-priced consultants someday. As you complete your Fordham education and move into what I hope is a much more normal business world, here's some advice that can help you retain and even hone that ability to pivot. I have the author Adam Grant to thank for a lot of what I'm about to share with you. If you haven't read his new book, Think Again, make some time this summer to read it. Grant, as you may know, is a faculty member at the Wharton School. He won the Best Teacher Award there every year between 2012 and 2018. And I'm happy to say that he teaches me too. Grant advises us to think like a scientist in the sense of holding everything as a hypothesis. Our gut instinct is to want to be certain, but we're capable of learning so much more when we're curious and unsure about the world. Making a hypothesis gives us the freedom to say we don't know everything, that we're looking to test things and see, and to be experimental and flexible. Making a hypothesis also gives us the official right to be wrong. This might seem counterintuitive, because after all, you've just finished a college education. You know things now. You're able to calculate net present value, analyze a cash flow statement, and understand brand value. But still, approaching big business questions with a hypothesis is the best way to discover. You should try to look at a problem from all sides. Make guesses and play them out. Assign champions and devil's advocates. Try on different perspectives. Put on your investor hat or your lender hat. Imagine the pros and cons from all the points of view, not just your own. It's that attitude of open exploration, of testing every possible path, that will help you make good decisions and strengthen your ability to change course when needed. Another piece of the guidance that I got from Grant's book is the best way to learn something is to teach it. I've seen examples of this in my own professional career, which has involved teaching for a few decades. When you teach something to someone else, you might see things you didn't see before. I find the questions people ask force me to see new perspectives and to really dig deep. I still remember one of the first times I taught cash flow using the indirect method, which, as it's called, is indirect and therefore a bit confusing. A student asked me why you added back the decrease in inventory. I knew the logic, but the student's question pushed me to do something more than just repeat it. Instead, I went to the board and drew a T account of the inventory and accounts payable. While doing that, I made up an example. I turned around and saw everyone's eyes light up with understanding. That day, I learned something too, a better way to teach a hard and counterintuitive topic. Sharing something with others is a powerful way to deepen our own understanding. Questions will push us all to, as Grant says in his book title, think again. Just this semester, I taught an Introduction to Business course to a group of first-year students. I had selected a collection of companies for us to study: Tesla, Uber, Ben & Jerry's, Microsoft, IKEA, and Starbucks. I had been careful to pick companies that I thought the students would be interested in and that represented strong forces in their market sectors and could also offer multidimensional lessons about the changing role of business in society. One student asked me why I had chosen companies where all the CEOs are men. It was a wow moment for me. I learned something from that student, and in this case, it was me who pivoted. I added YouTube and Bumble, and I made sure our discussions of Starbucks emphasized the role of its board chairwoman, Melody Hobson. My teaching this semester was improved by a student's willingness to question it. As you take on your roles in the business world, be open to the questions of others. Working together, you can form hypotheses, test them out, and when needed, think again. In closing, in addition to continuing to think again, I want to ask you to do one more thing, and that's remember to say thank you. If we were together in person, I'd ask you to find your family and friends in the crowd or to picture them in your mind, and then thank them for all they do to support you along the way. Maybe that's something you can do later today. Call someone, text them, email them. It's a great moment to recognize that when we do great things, we do them together. Congratulations again on your Gabelli School graduation. Visit us often. Stay connected. We'd love to see you back on campus anytime, and we will always remain your Fordham family.
Congratulations to the class of 2021. It's interesting for me to look back 4 years ago in the beginning of your career at Fordham and your education. I thought you would have an interesting time. I thought it was a great time to start. Clearly, it's been a challenging time. You have focused, you've driven, you've succeeded, and I want to congratulate you as you prepare for the next phase of your career. Stay focused, stay driven, and congratulations.
Good morning, class of 2021. It is an honor to address you all for our commencement today. I would like to begin by thanking Fordham University and the graduating class. Thank you for making these past 4 years the best of my life. I would also like to thank my parents, my sister, my grandparents, and my friends. Without their constant support, I would not be standing here in front of you today. While there are many things to love about Fordham, our community is truly what defines the university. Under the direction of Father McShane and Dean Rapiccioli, faculty and students embrace the contrasting characteristics of a ram in perfect harmony. We have the strength to charge forward, over mountains and towards future goals, as well as a genuine desire to protect our herd and care for one another. While thriving off the fast pace of the city, we still gladly pause to help another without hesitation. Fordham turns the global epicenter into a tight-knit community and disproves the rat race. As a result, we've happily navigated New York City together over these past 4 years and have taken each new challenge in stride. I believe we have all had instances, academic or otherwise, that speak to this during our time here. For me, it was when class deans and professors were eager to catch up during a casual run-in in Hughes Hall. It was when PPD called to give me one final pep talk while I was on my way to an interview. It was when fellow classmates rushed to Eddie's to enjoy the first warm spring day together. It was when a stranger on campus stopped those 5 extra seconds to hold the door open. And it was when an alum happily approached me because I was wearing my Fordham gear in public. Ultimately, this spirit is felt by all Rams of the past and present, and demonstrates the true power of being a part of something bigger than oneself. As Father McShane often reminds us of our Jesuit Mantra, Fordham cultivates students who go forth and set the world on fire. The conviction of my peers to enrich themselves in new opportunities and experiences, coupled by their motivation to care for one another, defines the person I strive to become. Each act we do to better ourselves or others around us are the small sparks needed to elicit the fire of this Jesuit mantra. As alumni, Fordham will always be our second home. I wish everyone the best of luck as we continue to support each other through all that we accomplish. Congratulations, class of 2021, for the greater glory of God, and go Rams!
Welcome to the 2021 commencement ceremony. I first wanted to extend my congratulations to my classmates. In a year that added countless obstacles to pre-existing challenges, we managed to persevere. When I think of Fordham, of the Gabelli School of Business, I think of community. I've been asked why Fordham countless times over the past 4 years. It took me a while to be able to articulate it, but my answer is simple. From the moment I walked onto campus for the first time, I have felt supported. There is a culture here on campus that I like to call the everyone holds the door mentality. Not only does everyone hold the door open for those behind them, but that culture of care and awareness manifests itself in countless other ways here on campus and off. There is a desire within all those at Fordham, and especially within Gabelli, to see everyone succeed. It is a culture of collaboration, not competition. That has been not only the most consistent aspect, but also the most important aspect of my Fordham experience. Every member of our community is committed to its well-being, starting with the individual members. That care for others, your classmates, your professors, your deans, the alumni, the underclassmen, that is what sets us apart, and that is something that we will never lose. As we exit the Fordham gates, whether that be in the Bronx or at Lincoln Center, may we always remember that we are a part of this community, and that each of us contributed to the unique, supportive culture that Fordham has. I encourage you to bring that support with you to the next community that is lucky enough to have you. It's been a joy and an honor learning and growing alongside all of you for the past 4 years. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Hey everyone. So I'm 21 years old with very little life experience, talking to other people my age about life in 3 minutes. So let's see how it goes. I want to share some things that had an incredible impact on me and that I think may be relevant for anybody listening without any fluff. So let's do this. The first thing that I've learned is the power of initiative. We're taking the leap and just making that first step towards something can end up being the best decision that you ever make. And like everything that I'm going to be talking about, it can apply to anything. It could be making that networking call. It could be signing up for that new experience. It could be sending that first DM to that special person. It could be volunteering to help someone. It could be sending in an application to a place that you feel like you don't even have a shot at working at, and then starting to build relationships with like 20 different traders around you until you find yourself sitting next to them every day. How many children of immigrants are watching this? We are living in probably the most secure and best time and place in all of human history, even coming off of a pandemic. It's likely that your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, and so on lived a life where they were focused on surviving so that you today might have the opportunity to do more than that in your life and thrive. This is where I want to thank Fordham and every member of the faculty that I had the pleasure of meeting, and every single person who I have not met yet, for taking any initiative that any of us have showed and paying it back and then some. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The second thing I want to talk about is motivation. Motivation is the fuel for your sustained initiative. Why? Because for the last month, I've been getting up before the sun rises and going to work and coming back to my apartment long after the sun is set. And that's just going to be the way things are going to be for a while. And maybe some of you out there have a job and you're starting and you're nervous, and maybe some of you are still searching and feeling fatigue. One thing that I think all of us have in common is that we just finished 4 years of this, and I'm pretty sure that we're all feeling at least a little bit burnt out. So where does motivation come from? I think a lot of places. I have met people who cared so deeply about righting the wrongs in the world around them. Individuals who care about building a future for a family. People motivated by money, status, ambition, helping others. Even motivated by spite. If anything is going to motivate you in your life, I hope you take a breath to think about what it might be. And I hope that is a motivation to do something good. Whatever gives you that push to get out of bed in the morning, I hope it's fulfilling. And especially after Zoom University, I hope it is not a deadline. For anyone looking for roles or paths after today is over, I promise you there is a light at the end of this tunnel. And finally, at the end of the tunnel of this speech, I want to talk about the singular most important thing that the world has taught me so far that I hope to share with you. And that is the impact of kindness. Yes, I'm serious. If there's only one thing you take away from this, and if this is the last time you ever see me and I ever see you, I hope that this is what stays with you. Always remember the power of helping others. Because there isn't enough time here for stories, but I think you will know what I mean when I say that you never really know what someone else is going through. This is where I want to thank my family, my roommates, my girlfriend, my friends, my group mates, my classmates, my professors, to everybody who showed me help and kindness along the way. I hope I was able to pay back some of it. I hope I could spend the rest of my life paying it forward. And for all of you, I hope that you find ways to pay that forward in your own lives. The world is often kind to those who are kind to it. Each and every one of you is absolutely incredible. Never, ever, ever forget that. I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I hope I say it for the rest of our lives. The best is yet to come. Thank you.
Adam William Abad, Nicholas A. Abazio, Kelly Beesom Abanaw, Jordan Acevedo, Hannah S. Adams, Frank A. Adepietro, Michael Girardigolia, Estrella Valentina Aguilar,
Matthew Agun,
Daniel R. Ahern, Samantha K. Amon, Leon De Castro Alzado, Matthew P. Alfano, Christopher A. Alford, Mark Anthony Allen, Alexandra Nicole Alloy, Sophia Rebecca Anderson, Gregory Andriopoulos, Redmond Jerome Chan Ang, Ronnie De Castro Antunes, Alan A. Arachiga, Randy Arias, Luke S. Arizan, Maximilian S. Asnes, Thomas Albert Austin, Olivia J. Atour, Aisha S. Avdu, Alexandra Margaret Bailey, Margaret Olivia Balcom, Sachin B. Balkaran, Luana Helena D. Baptista, Aubrey R. Barney, Edward J. Barron, Samantha S. Barrett,
Daniel Berry,
Michael H. Bartell, Anna Colette Basic, Oliver M. Bauer, Luke Walker Bausch, Tyler Jordan Bayuden, Eric Kenneth Berendt, Kenneth Paul Bellinger, Patrick J. Bellardi, Colin M. Bell, Elizabeth Rose Benedetto, Emily A. Benevento, Ralph John Berardi III, Matthew Brogue Burden, Adam Michael Burney, Spencer L. Berry, Sophia M. Bassel, Alexander T. Bettenhauser, Aaron Coburn Binder, Sage H. Bingman, Alexa I. Bjornson, Sean E. Blaney, Christopher R. Boccia, Addie M. Boylo, Bryce Daniel Bolison, Amy E. Boyle, Matthew T. Brady, Sinead Margaret Brady, Griffin M. Breen, Kendall Brown, Caroline Grace Brown, Caitlin M. Brosen, George W. Bryan, Serena Ann Budress, Joseph J. Bulger Jr., Madison Page Burkhart, Michael P. Burke, Thomas B. Burke, Samuel Burns, Peter Lloyd Burquest, Nadia Basheri, Joseph Stephen Burns, Huiling Kai, Tom G. Kamaj, Felipe Cambero, Marlene Campanelli, Espen Ingvar Ovringmo Campbell, Eric Cow, Madison J. Carr, Hannah Rose Casson, Joseph A. Castor, William C. Cavalier, Dean Joseph Ceramido, John L. Cernero, Alice Chai, Alvin Chen, Bo Wan Chen, Xingyo Chen, Yifan Chen, Alicia Chang, Christopher T. Child, Eric Thomas Chin, Cameron Chiuli, Anson O. Cho, Crystal Cho, Yuna Choi, Abir Chowdhury, Dana Coleman Sachiti, Giancarlo M. Cipri, Vincent C. Chula, Thomas R. Clark, Antonio N. Klinko, Aidan P. Cohane, Maria L. Colosi, Julia Grace Condren, Kelly T. Conhini, Kieran Joseph Conley, Austin J. Conrado, Samuel M. Considine, Christian M. Corrado, Emmett Matthew Cornetta, Kendall Carrot Cornwell, Lujetta Kosovic, Rachel Ashlyn Coyle, Zachary C. Crosby, Alexander M. Crowley, Jinyi Kui, Tim Kung, Sean P. Curtin, Eris Karuksu, Juliana Maria Chernick, Nicholas Paul DeLeo, Stephanie Marie Daly, John Christopher Dolman,
John Dardis,
Lutwin D. Makar, Christina E. Deere, Michael David DeBoer, Charles C. Decas, Jillian Mary Deary, Jacobo Delara, Catherine Ann De Laurentiis, Nicole DeLu, Tyler Gennaro DeLuca, Dylan J. DeMacos, Mithrin T. Denbo, Matthew A. Dengler, Kevin P. Dennehy, Maxim David Denemy, Robert F. DePippo, Sarah J. DeRosa, Kyle R. Demaray, John P. Devine Jr., Isabella Durendi, Genting Jiao, Jacob William Joseph Deitel, Alexia DeFeo, Matthew R. DiLorenzo, Anthony Diodato, Laura Andapippa, Alexandra E. Ditch, Abraham J. Jabayan, Brendan L. Donlan, Drew C. D'Onofrio, Julie Kathleen Doonan, Emma Jane Dorman, Liam Doherty Howard, Kieran Regan Downey, Caitlin Ashley Downey, Catherine Elizabeth Dowson, Shihung Du, Liam James Duffy, Ronald R. Dugan III, Christopher Duke, Andrew J. Duro, Jennifer Bridget Elbers, Ryan Emanuel, Justin Kazuki Yang, Nora Lisa I. Fazul, Wesley John Fales, Steve Fanton, Diana Farrell, Luca Fava, Julia Rebecca Feiner, Emma G. Fenton, Elena N. Ferrante, Eric A. Field, Griffin D. Fitzgerald, Liam Bear Fitzmaurice, John Cleary Flanagan, Henry Richard Forgy, Haley S. Forsblom, Shauna L. Fortier, Ryan G. Foss Shiftestspeak, Dylan Andrew Frames, George W. Frank IV, Joseph D. Frischella, Z. Hui Fu, Arif Nicola Gans, Armin Ospina Garga, Gabriel P. Garrido, Raj M. Gayalad, Jack Patrick Gilday, Thomas A. Joya, Adam P. Gorey, Lauren Ann Goldblum, Darius Gannell, Ethan Goodchild Ortiz, Matthew R. Garag, Elisaveta Grachova, Thomas Scott Greco, Nicholas Credo, John A. Griffinetti, Nathaniel Lee Gunther, Shangrong Guo, Dominic M. Guslani, Joseph Hassai, Marjan Hassan, Grant L. Hastings, Yike He, Julius Charles Heftler, Manuel A. Henriquez, Heaven Marie Henry, Julia Paige Herms, Alexander G. Hernandez, Madison Elizabeth Herr, Maura Claire Holst, Philip L. Horgetz, Garrett Howell, Emily M. Hublitz, Ryan F. Hudson, Renesha Ray Nyalo Hudson, Alyssa Anna Ayoko, Hafaz Tul Islam, Anthony Jabbour, Sarah F. Jackman, Jillian Morgan Jacome, Grace Justine Janasek, Catherine Christian Jaramillo, Patrick H. Jennings II, Jing Jia, Youngmin Jin, Ethan John, Audrey Tompkins Johnston, William C. Jordan, Jonathan Mitchell Joseph, Carmen Calone, Marlon S. Kalutota, Sakai M. Kaminsky, Christine Jihe Kong, Nikolai D. Capitan, Amanda Elizabeth Carpy, Vivek Ebert Call Jr., Grace K. Kazarian, Kathleen Mary Keene, Riley A. Keene, Emma R. Keegan, John F. Keegan, Lucas K., Finn O. Kemper, Madeline Sophia Kerrigan, Hans Kaikeffer, Kimberly Ann Keys, Lauren A. Kiefer, Kayla Eve Kilfoyle, Hannah Natalie Kilroy, Peter Kim,
John Kirby,
Dylan Patrick Kish, Edward M. Kleinschmidt Jr., Thomas J. Cook, Jacqueline G. Kontoparakis, Anastasia Kostyushko, Nikolaus C. Kutulas, Spencer A. Krell, Mia Isabella Kroger, Sydney R. Kroll, Laura T. Kunkel, Catherine I. Kuchera, Raylene J. Kwiatkowski, Connor A. Labazetta, Jessica Lauren Lemley, Riley Ann Lafnitzegger, McKenna N. Lar, Alexander M. Lai, Robert T. Leata, Sophia Ray LaMonica, Chao Lan, Declan Joseph Lavin, Alexandra Q-An Lay, Sean Michael Leary, Ho Jun Lee, Nicholas Raymond Lehman, Matthew Gennaro Langua, Brian F. Lennon, Samantha Rose Levy, Barong Lee, Ji-Hung Lee, Jin Lee, Si-Chi Lee, Ji-Heng Lee, Yi-Wei Liang, Jackie Kamen Liang Zhang, Christopher M. Lakari Jr., Samuel Lieber, Jonathan David Lincecum, Emma R. Lipinski, Chenyi Liu, Yangshi Liu, Ricardo Andres Yanio, Matthew T. Lobasso, Alexander S. Loporto, Lan Lu, Patricia Louisant, Desiree L. Loyola, Jun Xiao Lu, Edward August Lucano, Alec Daniel Lucas, Chen Luo, Jack Lynch, Jia-Wen Liu, Xu Yao Liu, Richard Ma, Weizi Ma, Kyle Mack, Jenna Kathleen Magno, Jessica L. Magosi, Peter J. Macris, Christian Joseph Meltempe, Alexander J. Mamo, Daniel Arthur Woods Manganello, Boyana Maras, Michael Vincent Marinelli, Olivia L. Marquez, Elizabeth A. Martin, Samantha Ann Marucci, Joseph A. Masha, Nicholas Samuel Maya, Mohammed Mazar, Robert A. Mazzacco, John G. McCauley, Declan J. McCabe, Brendan R. McCarthy, Matthew Patrick McClellan, Jack P. McConaughey, Thomas J. McCormack Jr., Daniel Patrick McGowan, Ryan Anthony McGraw, Abigail S. McGuire, Catherine E. McLaughlin, Caitlin McMichael, Luke R. McNamara, Michael Romulo Mash, Nathaniel J. Metfiner, Andrew Mevis, William Zubin Meyer, Matthew W. McCucci, Anthony Milavoy, Samantha Mills, Anthony F. Merdita, Matthew Murto, Anthony Misko, Mehraj M. Mojumdar, John C. Molchan, Michael Anthony Madroni, Haley Moonsamy, Alexa Moore, Kayla Ileana Moore, John Paul Moran, Marissa Rose Moran, Michael Arturo Moreno, Zachary P. Morfogan, Matthew Taylor Mormile, Tristan J. Morris, Julian T. Mascaro, Salim Matarfi, Isabella G. Mageo, Edita Muyai, Kevin Cole Mulhern, Maxwell J. Munch, Victoria Lourdes Munoz, Eric Moyo, Treyer M. Musselman, Ismail S. Mustafa, Joseph M. Myers, Natsumi Nakamura, Brandon Michael Nance, Nicholas John Napolitano, Meredith Nash, Peter C. Negria, Matthew Hugh Wynn, Armani J. Nieves, Patrick K. Nareko, Jendrika Nunez, Sean Gregory O'Brien, Emily Elizabeth O'Donovan, Seamus Michael O'Kane, Joseph M. Olesker, Charlotte Aaron O'Neill, Michael J. O'Neill Jr., Amos Timothy Bosch Ong, Dominique Seri Opatrani, Anthony George Arissis, Aaron Kathleen O'Rourke, James A. Autominelli, Alexander Joseph Palmieri, Christopher A. Papadopoulos, Jonathan F. Papanikolaou, Neil Patel, Rahil C. Patel, Shiv B. Patel, Michael H. Pear, Rekha R. Pednekar, Anya M. Pelkova, Samuel Marquis Palat, Chris P. Pensuan, Lena Jane Perez, Dimitri A. Philly, Emma J. Pickett, Nicholas H. Pignataro, David Pimentel, Mario A. Pinedo Bermudez, Brianna Lucia Pinto, Frank J. Peraglia, Ariana L. Piscatelli, Sophia Platt, Rachel Glenn Plunkett, Riley M. Poduge, Bridget Eileen Poole, Catherine W. Pop, Casey James Potters, Liam Edward Prendergast, Gregory M. Prentice, Yiyan Pu, Abhishek Purohit, Kai Chin, Joseph Brady Quintal, Robert Maximilian Quintus, Caitlin M. Radeska, Belman Rama, Elizabeth J. Ramirez, Graham M. Ramiza, Austin John Ramsey, Nicholas P. Reardon, Victoria L. Reddy, Ryan R. Reap, Brendan Daniel Riley, Aradni Helena Rentz, Haley R. Reynolds, Yannick Alphonse Rimpel, Michael Gregory Rinko, Abel Rivera, James F. Rosato, Daniela A. Rossi, Gabriella M. Rossi, Brendan P. Roth, Jacob J. Ravancic, Daniel P. Rubio, Daniel J. Ruchalski, Zachary Jordan Rudish, Esther Helen Ruiz, Anthony James Russell, Anne Olivia Russo, Michael Stephen Russo, Nicholas Demare Russo, Roger Saldana, Omar Saleh, Thomas Solis, Pedro Benelli Salameo, Regina Sandoval, Michael Matthew Santangelo, Deontay L. Santiago, Erica Santos Paez,
Douglas Saunders, John Scaly Jr.,
Michael Bijan Scampato, Marianne K. Scapatici, Alexa C. Sackinger, Victoria L. Shower, Erlinda Salaj, Dylan J. Sereno, Chirayu B. Shah, Kanak Manish Shah, Alexander Trent Shea, Emma Sheehan, Yishan Shen, Ruba N. Shagufta, Liam S. Seigel, Isabella Shanafsky, Nicholas G. Salachi, Bennett L. Silver, Anthony Vincent Silvestri, Hope R. Simpson, William Hannay Smith, Daniel George Smith, Ryan Sophie Smith, Colton James Snelling, Jordan R. Snyder, Michael D. Solomini, Andrei Solomonovich, Jack Dalton Summer, Paul Ramos Spagnoli, Charles Joseph Spolita III, Alexander J. Sperandio, Joseph F. Spanenberg, Allison E. Stauffer, John Stravopoulos, John Raymond Steib, Scott Matthew Stern, Nicholas J. Stivoletti, Kevin P. Stoltenborg, Theodore Stratus III, Patrick W. Strauss, Christopher S. Strelinsky, Julia Marie Stusnik, Clarissa Claudia Sumati, Benjamin Cornell Summers, Nick Hill Sundaram, Alejandro A. Swartz, Ahmed Syed, Junga Ten, Ida Marie Tanyan, Russell Luke Teromina, Robert W. Tavoso, Brett William Taylor, Ellis Clayton Taylor, Alexander W. Tenbarge, Alexandru Teodorescu, Caroline Grace Terrell, Darren Ta, Akancha Thakur, Matthew P. T-Bear, Blake Garrett Thompson, Dylan J. Tierney, Fernando A. Tinoco, Alexandria Elisa Tizo, Catherine Lynn Tsai, Brandon C., Justin Ross Tucker, Peyton M. Turner, Shanjid Udine, Andrew Thomas Vaccaro, Justin Van Altuis, Natalie Vasallo, Diego Enrique Vasquez, Carlos Vasquez Jr., Vaula Ulpuka Vakeli, Albion Velick, Patrick William Vinecourt, Rita Varani, Maximus J. Vitelli, Anthony V. Volpe Jr., Catherine Wells Vonderlip, Connor Gilbert Fondere, Jessica J. Walker Corbett, John Christopher Walsh, Jessica M. Wallach, Jonathan Lawrence Wang, Wan Ting Wang, Philip Yifei Wang, Xiaoshin Sharon Wang, Azali Isana Ward, Greta S. Weinrich, Brooke E. Weir, Grace Elizabeth Wellman, Anthony Joseph Wells, Sam F. Wheeler, Thomas B. White, Lillian A. Whitaker, Thomas Whitaker, Christopher G. Wilds, Owen J. Wilkins, Paul H. Williams, Eric J. Wilson, Patrick Robert Wilson, Katrina Lynn Wilson, Sean M. Whitty, Lachlan T. Woolsey, Kevin A. Wright, Eric J. Wu, Tonghua Shu, Uching Shu, Vivian W. Yang, Jishan Yang, Haonan Ye, Zitao Ye, Daniel J. Young, Yingkong Yu, Yang Yu, Nicholas J. Zakel, Nicholas Zaramatidis, Ching Zhang, Emily A. Zerpoli, Bojan Zhang, Hong Yi Zhang, Shencheng Zhang, Zhu Zhang, Yuan Zhao, Yi Jiazhen, Eric Zhang, Raymond Zhang, Yi Yun Chong, Yiren Zhu, Dominic J. Ziebert, Thomas S. Zesis, Joel A. Zufali, Joseph R. Zoyovsky, Rafid Ahmed, Charlene V. Anaya, Sarah Bai, Hope Barker, Natalia Verzola Lima Barreto, Andrew Michael Beecher, Noam Browdy, William Andrew Bruce, Stephanie Mahalia Premwadi Burchell, Julia Butler, William Kai, Maria Elena Carvalho Vega, Amanda Chang, Jinning Chang, Minnie Chen, Yang Chen, Yang Chen, Hannah Grace Davies, Julia Dominique DeXavier, Tristan Pierre Dupuis, Michael Francis Finnan, Bridget Murphy Fong, Amir H. Fuladvand, Dar Fuchs, Alexander H. Gardner, Jeffrey R. Gee, Casey Nicole Gelsomino, Claire O'Malley Griffin, Alyssa Faith Gramando, Ben Guo, Verdon K. Gupta, Johanna Sophia Guzzi, Zachary Hajar, Kristen Michelle Harb, Juan David Hernandez, Joanne Huang, Yeshin Kong,
Irat Katir Diogli,
Christian Kopravika, Christian Harry Krishinsky, Catherine Lee, Chi Lee, Kristen Grace Lindrud, Shinyu Leo, Vasilios Lavanos, Jiaoji Lu, Fiona T. Louis, Huanshu Luo, Ray Ma, Rehan Mao, Laura Marsico, Catherine Elizabeth Morrison, Nishida Naga, Luis Daniel Navarro, Emily J. O'Brien, Diego Roman Oliverio, Deniz Ozan, Anna Pashkovich, Michael J. Perry, Enzo Persic, Vitalik Pesahov, Kea Proko, Chen Xiao Chu, Margot Elise Reed, Johanna Reinhold, Regina Valeria Rover, Armando A. Sandoval, Resham Sansi, Ethan Hashem Shamim, Jachi Shah, Amrit Paul Singh, Rashmi Singh, Adam B. South, Robert Anthony Stryzek, Xiao Tian Sun, Austin Tong, Alexis Marie Centeno Torres, Gianna Trapani, Angelo N. Sulos, Eric Jan Vriedenberg, Ning Wang, Ji Ying Wei, Kelly Wang, Yu Hao Wu, Jianfei Shi, Jiu Shu, Muyan Xian, Ian Yu, Rose M. Zaman, Hung Min Zhang, Zhonghee Zhao, Yihui Zhou, Sai Yuan Ju,
And a wonderful and hearty congratulations to all of our graduates for the 2021 class of the Gabelli School of Business. Graduates, this is not the end of the line. Yes, you are about to be dismissed from all of your degree requirements and soon to have your degree awarded to you. However, this campus is open to you. We're open here and we will welcome you back when you would like to certainly come back to us. May I close then, as we both congratulate you and give you this small piece of advice. What you have learned here over the time of your study, may I ask you to please take it with you. Business with a purpose, and of course, what St. Ignatius of Loyola tells us and what we have always been reminded with these wonderful Jesuit values. To please make sure you go and set the world on fire. You've been taught much here, you've learned much, and you've had much experience here. Take that and go set the world on fire. Thank you.
As we conclude this ceremony, let's simply call to mind that many members of our community have suffered this year badly from the coronavirus, from racial injustice and violence, and from a lot of civil strife. So with these people especially in our hearts, in solidarity with them, we pray. Go forth into the world in peace. Be of good courage. Go forth into the world in peace. Be of good courage. Hold fast to that which is good. Render to no one evil for evil, but go forth into the world in peace. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the afflicted. Honor all persons. Love and serve the Lord or your highest principles, rejoicing in the power of the Spirit of truth and of good. And may the blessing of God and all those you love be upon you and remain with you always. Amen.